On June 11th. It is 5:28. So to start, I wanted to take a look at the meeting minutes, which I already looked at. Did you, Megan? Mm-hmm. So do you guys approve those minutes, or do we need to make any changes? Want to make a motion when you're done choking?
Holland.
It's okay.
I approve the minutes.
The motion to...
Motion.
So Amy made the motion, right?
I second it.
Meg seconded it.
Right.
Okay.
Great.
All right, they're approved.
We need a vote. All in favor?
All in favor? Aye. Okay. Sorry, I was thrown off a little bit. Your nails look really pretty. Okay, so those are good. So, today, we don't have any public. Holly said she couldn't make tonight, but if we ended up having any questions, just to reach out to her. Well, we should be able to go through this pretty quickly. First topic is summer camp.
All right, so summer camp starts June 23rd, so it's a few days away at this point, 10, I think, and we're in good shape. So the first day is Lake Day, so we will be there, and on that first day I will hand out calendars that I've made for the whole 8-week session of all the things we're doing. I found out today, just a little update actually, that probably Holly would have shared too. The gym is actually being moved up. So originally we were going to go to the gym first and camp out there, like set up camp there, and then use the classrooms when the gym was going to be done. But now the gym is getting done right away, like June 23rd.
Nice.
The same day. So we will get bumped into the classrooms for 3 weeks or whatever. I forget what it is, 4 weeks. And then switch at the end of camp so that they can clean those 2 classrooms before school starts, that kind of thing. Yeah, so it doesn't matter, but.
Being in the classrooms, which entrance are you using for drop off?
We're gonna use the gym.
Yep. Okay.
Yep, and I talked to Heather Woodard today about it, and she still thinks that no matter what, we should still be able to use that gym entrance, because even the construction workers will have to use that. So we'll just have to make sure, those will be the bathrooms we use as well, so just have to make sure those, the counselors are really on the kids about following them and waiting outside and all of that kind of stuff. And then there are exit entryways in the classroom to the outside, because we're going to be using the music room and the guidance room. So both those rooms are joint exits right there from those classrooms if we need to. That's the second option. She already said we could use those if we needed to. I have a marquee sign now. So excited.
I know.
That was your idea?
Yeah.
And so I'll put that out for like drop off here, pick up here, that kind of stuff.
I was gonna say, I think we still should order another one that actually, like Swift River had, that actually has like our logo, and just just so we can put out, like, so we'll kind of have like 2. One will have some wording on it, and
I
then.
wonder if we could get someone to make, yes, we might be able to. I'm looking at you. Would Steve do a sticker? Like a big sticker?
A vinyl? Yes.
This size to go on that?
Yeah.
Even just that. I'm sorry, my eye is twitching. And yeah, so if we could put that on there.
Yeah.
But I would just love to have a couple of those stickers for, I don't know, things. Yeah.
Another thing that would be nice is to get, like the yard signs, kind of like the kids.
Yes.
A couple of those with our, because like when we had the event, my green signs did not look that great.
I know he does those because he does them for the PTO as well, for like their craft fair and things like that. So I think as long as we give him enough notice for those events, we can definitely get them done.
Okay.
And again, we have an advertising line
Yeah.
that we don't use very often.
Yep.
I used it for the marquee,
And the banners.
We used to use it for the newspaper, but that's just way too expensive, so we decided not to do that.
Well, we didn't need it this year either.
And we didn't
because
need it.
had The counselors all
Yeah.
Yep.
were right there.
Yeah,
So
so it'd
anyway,
be
we
worth,
have that to use.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it would be worth getting a couple of those yard signs and then,
Yeah. Otherwise, we're almost full. We have a 1 week that we are full and over, but because of me being there too, I can take the over. It's just that last week that we're over, so I'll just plan on being there. But the rest of the weeks are like 38 kids
It's a good amount.
did you open it up?
to Freedom.
Okay.
Yep. So we have about 3 or 4 kids from Freedom. And now it's officially closed. But yeah, it had been open with not a lot of extra signups for the last week. So it wasn't like I was, blocking people off from it.
Yep.
There was plenty of time to do it, and they didn't, so.
And sometimes we do get those kind of last minute,
Stragglers, yeah.
things fall
Yeah.
through or whatever. So we could potentially for
We
the
have
other
space,
weeks.
yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yep.
All right. I actually wanted to skip over the spring sport update and just go to swimming lessons.
Yes, swimming lessons registration is open for non-camp kids. So if you are attending summer camp, signed up for summer camp, you are already on our list for swimming lessons, unless you told us you didn't want to be on our list. So there is an option on the summer camp registration where you can check off that you do not need or want your child to attend swimming lessons. And we did have a couple. It was usually just the kids that are coming like 1 or 2 weeks the whole summer. So, yeah.
Okay.
And we have about 8 families of non-summer camp Madison residents signed up.
Okay. All right. And then any updates with spring sports?
Softball just ended yesterday. They won their last game of the season. We added Berlin to our teams, which is awesome. They were in the same boat as we were. They had been playing the same team 6 times in a row. So that was nice. They're a very nice team. The coach was awesome. So we would love to continue that little relationship.
Just want to make sure we stay on top of getting in a league.
A league, yeah. So Ossipee has said they're interested in us joining their league next year, and Conway is hinting towards it. They haven't officially asked, but they have definitely started getting us ready to be in a league, giving us tips of what we should have and need and all of that. So
Okay.
we'll see. T-ball has been awful because of the weather. I feel so bad for the kids, but we're making the most of it. I know the black team has tried to reschedule practices on days during the week or on a Sunday. I know they did last Sunday. And some of the parents can do it, some can't. Some were offered to go with the red team and practice in the gym on the same day. So we're trying to be flexible with whatever they want, but it's been awful. And even this Saturday, they're supposed to have an end of season party in Freedom, and it's not looking good for weather.
Yeah.
But they've offered to do ice cream and all of that for, yeah.
Okay.
Next year, spring sports, we are definitely going to add track and field, because I have so many people that want to coach now and do it. So that will be something we can add on.
Yeah, I've heard in the past, like, it's been very successful. It just kind of I guess that goes in waves depending on, you know, the kids in the school and whether the parents like are
Yeah.
into it and all that, so.
And there's lots of
that's
meets.
exciting.
There's Conway, Freiburg, Molten Borough, Ossipee. So there's plenty of meets, and they all have told me that you really only need like one kid to be interested, you know, and go to a meet, because that one child picks whichever part they want to participate in, running, throwing, jumping.
Oh, that's cool.
So it's not a lot of setup, you know, so that's good.
Yeah, it sounds good. All right, so I think that kind of wraps up
Yeah.
that stuff. I have a few things, a few other topics I wanted to cover before I do. The 5K was actually pretty awesome. The only thing I wanted to address, there was a little bit of confusion. I thought that, and it's my fault, I thought that the chief knew that it was on that day. So it definitely is on me. I didn't realize that it didn't get communicated to him, but we had an EMT in the fire department there, a couple of volunteers, and there a lot more people showed up than what I was expecting.
That was awesome.
It was a really fun event. Everybody had a great time. I mean, we even ended up staying a little bit longer and getting pizzas and playing can jam out on the lake, like on the beach. So it was fun. It was a lot of fun. I definitely think it's something we got to do next year again. We did a good job fundraising. We had a lady just stop and say she was excited to see us out and doing stuff like that for the community, and wrote us a check. So it was nice. Cross River Fit was there. They did a sit-up competition with a $50 gift card. We had donations for like $5 off of yoga. I think I had like 25 of those. Kahula
Yeah.
donated those. Rock and Fitness donated a gym session. CrossFit donated a week of either nutrition or kids strength training class, and yeah, it was fun.
Awesome. Perfect weather.
Yep. So there's that. Then some other topics that I had for this, I'm going to skip over the summer and fall cornhole and go to Old Home Week. I'd like to do the town-wide yard sale, and I think we were thinking we would do that the second weekend. So I'm going to start working on that and getting it out there. I actually was driving through a town last weekend that does it, and they had a couple of those yard signs on one end of the town, and then going through, like, the other end of the town had it too. And I know they've been doing it for years there. So basically you sign up. We could do it through a link like we did for the lights. And I know Joy was like really good at creating like this virtual map, and I'm sure she would do that
I
for
already
us
asked
again.
her. She said yes.
Okay.
Yep.
So, yeah, I'll get working on that. I'll see if Joy will help me with it. But as far as, we have the softball game on Monday night, so we'll be there for that, to help with that. Saturday, I know there's a few people that are not going to be around, but I think we decided not to do an event on that
Back
day.
at the meeting minutes, but
that is what it
what
was.
did we say? Games? Something?
No, I think we opted out of it. We were
Okay,
going to stick
correct.
with the
Okay.
softball and
And do this instead.
Yep.
Yeah.
And do the,
the
Awesome.
yard
okay.
sale, yeah.
But I
right,
I can try to help out, like, if there's specific things that you guys need, I'm sure I can try to help out.
The only thing we thought about for Old Home this week, as I look back in the notes, is that if there was a weekly craft,
Yes.
that we
that's
could
right.
just set up a kids craft table where that might pull in some good donations.
The glow stick things.
Yes, that was awesome last year. The glow sticks.
Oh, yeah.
Old Home Week Committee asked if we were going to do it again.
You mean if I just bought a bunch and just did it myself. Yeah, I donated all that.
Oh, well,
You want me to do it? You want to do it
I
again?
would love for
How
it to happen
about
again.
we buy them this
You wanna do it
year?
again?
If the rec can buy them, and
I actually have like a
Now I
box of
see
them
them at your
too.
weddings all the time too. I'm like,
yeah,
Yeah, those were fun.
that was great.
kids
for
love
the fireworks
them.
night.
The foam sticks, right?
Yes.
You guys want the foam sticks? Okay.
so send me the link, and then we'll have to figure out how many we should order. But whatever we had last year wasn't enough.
No,
I mean, guys,
They're fun.
I had parents coming up to me
Yep.
being like, "I will give you $20
Yes.
for one." Yeah, because they were just
That's
so
what they
desperate
did.
for their kids to have one.
Yeah.
It was funny.
There's a way to make some donation.
We had a
donation
$2
money.
suggested donation, and people didn't even
They went
care.
so
They were like,
fast.
"We want
Yeah.
5 for 20 or whatever." You know, like they just.
Good. That's
it.
cool.
Okay, great.
Okay, so we'll do that.
So that's Saturday. No,
So if
Friday
your
night. Saturday
counselors
night.
can-
the last
think of-
Friday night.
Okay.
If your counselors can think of a
Craft.
craft, and then that first Saturday
First Saturday, yep.
is the
We're also doing tie-dye t-shirts that first Saturday.
the second.
Yeah.
If you tell me now, I can man that table with
Yeah.
children.
Okay.
We have a theme.
Okay. Here's the theme. Don't even tell me.
I'll be around that week as well. I can give
I
you
don't.
wherever it's needed.
Remember. Hold on, I'll text Jake.
No, but really.
While you're looking into that, during the cornhole, I don't know, like we could probably leave it out for the week, but we could set up the Gaga Ball pit
Yes.
because while parents are like socializing, I bet you kids would love to play that.
Yep. It's
So-
in the shed right now, just so you know.
Wait, we got it?
Oh, we have it.
It's not the ones that I want up there that are like
Right.
stationary,
right.
but still,
We have something.
it's
Still in the
it's something.
box. We gotta open it up and check it out.
And even in the
Do it.
summer, if you guys
Yeah.
are down here at all,
Yeah.
like,
Yep. Yeah, that's true. I could, although if we're in the classrooms, we're gonna wanna go to Burkefield, so we'll just go there and set it up there and,
well, I was thinking you could leave it set up out here if it's in the fenced-in area, but that's up to you.
that's true. Oh, that's true. Okay. Yeah, because the playground should maybe available. I'll have to ask about the playground.
Okay.
It should be, because if they're gonna have a dumpster, it's gonna be over by the
On the
propane
other
tank.
side,
And they're
yeah.
gonna use, they're probably gonna use those doors most of the time as well.
I would think so,
The far
yeah.
doors.
Okay.
I mean, that's what they did for the AC anyway, is they used that far set of doors.
Okay.
Yeah. Did you figure out the theme?
I'm waiting for Jake to
Oh,
answer me.
Okay, so we have that. And then I wanted to find out for like fundraising, if we want to try to do a cornhole up at the field.
Bye, guys. Thank you so much.
I think it, I thought we were.
Good luck. I think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Weren't we? Isn't that?
Well, we don't have a date yet, but
Oh.
we talked about it,
Do a
so.
cornhole tournament.
Yep.
Okay. So I guess maybe we don't have to decide right this minute. When we have everybody here, we can figure out a night to do that. And then there's two things I wanted to bring up. I know that we need a shed. So I think if we could get a price, Adam, on a shed. One thing I would really like to do is like show the community, okay, we're raising these funds, and yes, they go towards things like the Gaga Ball pit and stuff like that, but it would be nice if they could actually see that we have a goal to raise money for specific items like the shed. So I was gonna make kind of like something standard to put out when we put out our fundraising bucket, and then people can see like, you know, this is what we're working towards.
To buy a shed, yep.
So
what
I think we
size
should
do you
put the
want?
shed on it. I'm not sure yet.
I think it would be nice to have the same size as what Old Home Week has up there. It's slightly larger than the one we're using right now. This is the one that we're sharing right now.
Yeah.
And it has shelves in it, which is very helpful. On shelf topics, I bought 2 shelving units and 10 totes. They're upstairs.
Oh, good.
Heather started, I haven't been up there to see how far she got, but she started with organization of the summer camp stuff in totes.
Okay.
And we started separating some of the things that we're going to get rid of that are not useful to us anymore.
Okay.
So we should be much more organized up there by the end of summer at the very least. A lot of the summer camp stuff was already organized in boxes, so it's just a matter of getting it out of the broken box and into something that we can move around.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Thoughts? Anything else?
Well, like a 10 by 10 shed. Is that too small?
Too small. We're right now what we have, I'm trying to think, it's probably 8 by 10 or 12. So the other one that's up there is 8 by 16 or 10 by 16. I don't know how big we really need to go. The biggest problem is we don't have shelves and we're sharing it.
Yeah.
And we're not just sharing it with the garden club, but it's also the shed that houses the pressure tank for the well that's up there.
Yeah, I agree. I think it makes sense to try to get one for all the sporting equipment and stuff like that.
Yeah, and it's just we're not able to really organize it to a point where we can just go in and grab something and then leave. We have to move the pitching machine to get to the toe for the softball, and then we have to move what we just moved to get to the chalk machine to line the field, and it's a nightmare.
Yeah. All right. So the shed will be one thing, and I know something we've been really pushing for is kind of like one of those pavilion type.
That is, so Old Home Week is still working on the pavilion with the kitchen and the picnic tables and all that stuff. Michael was looking into grants. The biggest problem is we don't have anybody to sit down and write the grant.
So, like, who would you need to write it?
I don't know. I don't know enough about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's a task.
Writing a
Okay.
grant. Yeah, you need somebody that knows how to write grants. And I feel like we know somebody. I feel like we went over this last year.
Possibly. There's a community grant out there that Michael thinks would be available to us to build the pavilion, which obviously it would end up being an Old Home Week pavilion, but it would be available to the rec, no doubt.
At the school board meeting, the Historical Society came over, and I think Leanne wrote a
I think
grant.
that's who it was that we talked about last time.
Yeah, it might be worth asking her to help.
And she helps out with Old Home Week, so I may be able to touch base with her.
All right. I don't have anything else on the agenda. I know July, we're the second week in July, so that shouldn't fall on any holidays or anything. It's actually the week after the holiday. So we should be good there.
The 9th.
Will the meeting be at the town hall next time?
We actually talked about moving it back to the town hall. It's really quite the undertaking. They don't have like a smaller setup to be here, and honestly, I mean, nobody has showed up, you know, having it here, so that was our main goal, was to try to, so yeah, we'll have to make some changes to what we put out, hung at the town hall and stuff. I'm pretty sure the schedule is clear on Wednesdays there, the second week,
Yep.
but, do you know, should I confirm, or do you think it?
The schedule is there, and it's up as the second Wednesday of every month, but I didn't look closely to see if it says here or...
Can we put a sign in front of the school for the summer season? Because, like, you can come to the rec meeting and be a part of that, but then, you know, it's also a chance for your kids to get together outside of school and see each other again, you know? So, I don't know. I think you need something that's more in people's faces. Because
Good
like,
point.
I barely ever see the rec stuff on Facebook because it's so, you know, it picks and chooses who it shows people, and I'm not at the town hall, so I would never. I only usually remember because you send out a reminder.
Yeah, I mean, I've tried to put it out there even through email, you know, and honestly, I'm not very hopeful these next few months just because everybody is so busy. So I think we just move it back, you know, and but I just gotta check the schedule. I don't think there's another meeting over there on Wednesdays.
No, I don't believe so. So
Okay.
planning board meets the first Wednesday of every month at 7, and the master plan committee meets before them.
Okay,
So the second Wednesday of every month should be free and clear.
okay. Yeah, so let's just say we go back that way. Make it easier. All right. Well, I don't have anything else. I don't know if you guys do. If not, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Easy peasy.
Short and sweet. Took you longer to set up.